When you're not focused on external tasks, your brain doesn't rest. It activates a specific network, the default mode network, active during daydreaming, mind wandering, self-reflection. This is where you process, integrate, create. It's not wasted time, it's essential cognitive work. The default mode network connects several brain regions: medial prefrontal cortex, posterior cingulate cortex, lateral parietal cortex. These activate together when you're internally focused, thinking about yourself, others, past, future, anything not in the immediate environment. This network is unique to humans, or at least most developed in humans. It's associated with complex thinking, self-awareness, theory of mind, future planning, creativity, the kinds of cognition that make humans human, this internal processing capacity. The default mode network operates in opposition to task-positive networks. When you focus externally, the default mode quiets. When you turn inward, task networks quiet. This is the brain's toggle, outward focus or inward processing. Not both simultaneously. Problems arise when the default mode network becomes overactive. Stuck on, unable to quiet when you need external focus. This is rumination, depression, anxiety, your brain trapped in negative thought loops, unable to shift to task focus. This is suffering, not just psychology, neurology. Meditation reduces default mode network activity. Experienced meditators show quieter default mode activity, even at rest. This is why meditation reduces rumination, anxiety, self-focused thinking, not by suppressing thoughts, by changing the underlying neural dynamics. The default mode network is where self-referential thinking happens. Thoughts about me, my past, my future, my problems, my desires. This creates the sense of continuous self, the narrator, the I, that seems to exist independently. But this is network activity, not a thing, a process. When the default mode network quiets deeply, as in meditation or psychedelic experiences, the sense of self dissolves. This is ego death, not metaphorical. The neural network that creates selfhood is temporarily offline. What remains is awareness without a sense of separate self. This is why these experiences are so profound. They reveal that the self you think you are is generated by brain activity, not a fundamental truth. When that activity quiets, the self disappears. This is both terrifying and liberating. Depending on context and interpretation, creativity involves the default mode network. The aha moment, insights. These often come when you're not actively working. In the shower, walking, drifting off to sleep, because the default mode network is processing, making connections, finding patterns. This is unconscious creative work. But you need both networks. The task-positive network to gather information, to learn, to focus, and the default mode network to integrate, to process, to create meaning. Modern life overuses task networks. Constant external focus, no processing time. This is why people feel overwhelmed. Too much input, not enough integration. Boredom activates the default mode network. This is when processing happens, but modern life eliminates boredom. Phone always available, entertainment constant. You never give your default mode network time to work. This prevents processing, integration, creativity. Allow boredom deliberately, no input, no stimulation, just internal processing. This is when the default mode network does its job, when memories consolidate, when experiences integrate, when creative insights emerge. This isn't wasted time. This is essential cognitive work. Sleep activates the default mode network differently. During REM, it shows unique activity patterns. This is when emotional processing happens, when bizarre associations form, when creativity blossoms. Dreams are the default mode network running free without logical constraint. The default mode network changes with age. Children have less default mode activity, more external focus. This is why children live in the present. Less self-referential thinking. Adults have more default mode activity, more rumination, more planning, more worrying. This is maturation, but also burden. Psychedelics profoundly affect the default mode network, reduce its activity, decrease its connectivity. This disrupts normal thought patterns, allows new connections, new perspectives. This is why psychedelics can help depression, PTSD, addiction. They temporarily break rigid default mode patterns, but you can modulate the default mode network without drugs through meditation, exercise, nature exposure, creative activities. These all affect default mode activity, reduce rumination, enhance flexibility, create space for new patterns. The default mode network is not bad. It's essential for self-reflection, planning, creativity, social cognition, but it needs balance. Too much activity creates rumination, too little prevents integration. The key is flexibility, ability to engage it and disengage it as needed. This is what meditation trains, not eliminating the default mode network, controlling it, choosing when to engage internal processing, when to focus externally. This flexibility is mental health. Rigidity in either direction is dysfunction. Understanding the default mode network changes how you structure time. You realize you need unstructured time. Processing time, not just productivity. You need boredom, daydreaming, mind wandering. These aren't laziness. They're when your brain does some of its most important work. Your default mode network is always there, waiting for external focus to release, waiting to process, integrate, create. Give it time, protect it, use it deliberately. This is how you think deeply, create meaningfully, live reflectively. This is the internal life, essential as external action.